Welcome back to the Not Our Crib podcast. You already know who it is, the man of the house, Bright Knight, and I'm glad I caught this. Damn, I'm speaking a lot louder than I thought. I'm glad that I caught this before it got to like a minute into this video because I started recording. I go look at my audio, and my audio's not on. So my audio capture device kind of disconnected somehow. I didn't unplug it or anything. But anyways, how's everybody doing today? Comment that we are here. You better comment that we are here because I asked people to comment. What did I say? We made it, but that was at the end of the video. But before we get too far ahead, make sure you guys like this video. I heard that when I say like this video, the like button actually glows. So go down there and check that for me. Maybe there's something for the comment section. Make sure you guys comment, like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned for more episodes. So, first topic. I'm chilling in the TV room, and I had just finished season 3 of Invincible. And no, I'm not here to do the overplayed Invincible clip where before I even say the word Invincible, it cuts to the title card. I'm not doing that. Okay. Anyways, it was cool, but it just gets kind of corny and very predictable. So if you're expecting me to have it, it's not popping up. And if you don't know what Invincible is based on its popular comic of the same name by Image Comics, and it takes a little bit of creative liberties that differ from the standard side of superheroes. Now, I do really like Invincible. The animation's not terrible. I know people have problems with how they do their animation, but animation's not terrible. And the story is rather good. And after watching the season, I did very well enjoy what was happening. It's not my favorite season, and I'm not gonna give it more of an edge in it being one of my favorite seasons or a great season because of the final fight in the last episode. But I will say this about the show is I'm not too big of a fan of the motivations of their villains. And for those who don't know, not to spoil anything for the show, and this is more not even about the show itself as like a cartoon or a comic. It's more so just about writing in general and how to make a compelling character. Now, the characters in the show are very compelling, but when it comes to these villains and how they're written, even in the comics, I wish there was a little bit more of a creative liberty to change some of their motivations. It's kind of stupid. And I get that's probably what the creator was going for, but that doesn't excuse it for being bad writing, at least in my opinion. So, one of the season 2 branching into season 3 villains is known as Angstrom Levy. Angstrom Levy has the ability to travel through dimensions. And in the Invincible universe, he knows all the different versions of himself because he can travel between them. And he's the only one with this ability. So, in order to enhance his intelligence, he decides to create. I'm over here spoiling the show. I'm so sorry. But basically, to get his origin, he decided that he was going to create a machine to bridge all of his intelligence into one being the one that can travel through dimensions. It doesn't really go that way, as the main hero kind of interferes, more so trying to stop the villains that were present before Angstrom became a villain. And after the explosion happened, this is my understanding of what happened. One of his versions that was already traumatized from what happened in his universe was the one that survived while the rest got blended into his brain, and that's why he hates Invincible. And his goal is to make his life a living hell for whatever reason, because in all the other versions of his life, Invincible is a villain, but this one is actually a hero. And so, with that being said, you would think that he's either trying to stop him from becoming a villain and lead him on the path of being a hero, or he's going to get rid of the ones that are villains that tortured him in different universes, which neither of those things happen. He wants to ruin the good one's life, but then doesn't want to hurt the bad ones, at least in the way that you would think. I mean, this dude went out of his way to harm Invincible's mother, which you would have been dead. There was no way I was going to let that one slide. But he goes out of his way to harm his family for the sake of his grudge against him in other universes, rather than just destroying the ones in his other universe. Granted that they're bloodthirsty and they will end him probably rather quickly, but if I was to rewrite those little things about him, I would honestly put that he's afraid that the good one will turn bad since all of them turn bad in every other universe. He would see it as a canon event. But no, he's just a stupid hater, and even in the comics, he was just hating on him for whatever reason. Um, and I call that poor writing because it just doesn't make sense. Now, there are villains who are just evil for the sake of being evil, but he's not evil for no reason because he has a lot of power and he wants to exercise it over those he deems as weaker. No, he's just a hater. He's a generational hater for no other reason. And then another character that's also just a hater, but it makes a little bit more sense, is Powerplex. And he has a grudge against the hero because all the destruction he caused in his previous fights cost the life of his niece. And he has a little bit of power, so he tries to start off the story by utilizing the justice system to bring him to justice so he can pay for his crimes, not knowing at the time, not knowing that it wasn't Invincible's fault for the death of his niece and his aunt or his sister. They kind of throw that out the way later in the episode where he actually has proof showing that it wasn't his fault, but is so angry and so bitter that he still wants to do something about it since the system won't. And since he does have powers, he finds equipment to amplify his abilities to go after him. Not to mention, the job that he works at also worked alongside Invincible. So it's like he already knew who he was, had ample opportunities of meeting him, and has evidence that he's not a villain. And this could easily just be... I'm not going to spoil the rest of it. This could easily be changed to, one, him never having that video, or that video even existing, and two, him not working at the same facility that partners with the main hero of the story. So it's more justified for him to want to have hatred towards him and go after him. If anything, if I was in the Invincible universe, I would most likely hate Invincible too. You're a character named Invincible, but you get your ass handed to you every fight you're in, and then you can't even save anybody really because you keep fighting threats that are destroying entire cities and costing us many lives. Now, in other superhero mediums, which is why Invincible is so much different than like Marvel or DC, you will see the people suffer gruesomely as a part of these fights. These are citywide fights. Buildings are falling out of the sky. Shockwaves are knocking over houses. People are getting crushed. Their lives are being ended instantly just by someone flying at like Mach 10 through them. And if I had any say-so or any type of powers, I would not want this guy being able to roam free. And him being the strongest on the planet, but everybody he fights is stronger than him. I would have no... I couldn't live here. I would have to move to another planet just for the chance of safety. I understand why Powerplex felt the way that he did. They just kind of fumbled it by just adding in the fact that he knows that he's innocent. He could just be someone who's just blinded by his rage, but at a certain point, the writing gets better to the point where if they have a conversation, he says, "It's not my fault for what happened. I apologize." And he could try to clear his name and prove it, but he doesn't want to listen. It makes more sense. And I'm not going to spoil any more about the story, but if you know, you know. And I highly recommend if you guys go watch Invincible. I'm not sponsored by Amazon Prime, but you guys should because I do pay for your service, and you should what I'm saying, give back to the community. But the important thing about writing a villain is making them compelling enough to understand where they're coming from, or to just like them for the fact that they're just cool, or they just messed up. And I want to like Powerplex, but he just doesn't make sense. And then Extreme Levy's just freaking annoying because I wouldn't let you come try to ruin my life because 16 other versions of Brighton was evil and I'm the only good one. I'd probably become evil too just because you wanted to come mess with me. Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you have all this knowledge from all your versions of yourself and you still happen to be the dumbest one. Like, come on now. Oh my goodness. Speaking of things that are stupid, so about last week, almost 2 weeks now, we all know about the Diddy situation, the diddler currently in prison right now. But then there came out a story, or not a story, but more of a court case or a document about Druski.
What?
So apparently Druski was at one of these Diddy parties apparently back in 2018, and he just decided to become a diddler himself. Apparently he rubbed himself all in baby oil and he jumped on top of somebody and crushed them. I'm paraphrasing the court case, but this went around the internet so quickly that Druski had to come out and say, in 2018, I wasn't even popular. Like, I was still living at my mom's house. So how was I even going to be, have enough pull to be at a Diddy party? It just didn't make any sense. The fact that people, like, bought into it without knowing a little too much about how these legal proceedings or these legal documents are supposed to go, it was just clearly fake. Um, Now I'm not someone who does law, even though I'm dressed like one right now. But one thing that someone pointed out was if this was actually Druski, they wouldn't have put his name Druski in the document. They would have to legally identify him by his first and last name. His government would have to be legally identified with his alias being such as that. And even then, the alias sometimes doesn't get put out right away. They even said that Odell Beckham was part of it. Is I don't even. Everybody was more focused on Druski because it was just egregious at how obvious this wasn't real. Talking about his enormous size being belly flopped on top of someone and suplexed off the top rope, um, hit them with the finger full. Like, oh my goodness, it just didn't make any sense. And when will the internet learn to fact check certain things? Some things have to be fact checked before we just go around just assuming everything to be true. Like, you gotta at least get a second opinion on this or a second form of confirmation. That's why I'm not so quick to just jump into whatever. Because when I heard, I'm like, Druski in a Diddy party, like, bro, what? Like, yeah, there's been like later on in life, he's been seen in commercials with Diddy and has done videos with Diddy, but not everybody has been part of a Diddy party apparently, or everyone who said that they went to Diddy parties, they weren't what the court cases were saying. They were just extravagant parties. There was like a ton of entertainment, but it wasn't what they're alleging. And maybe this is just a ploy to like throw off the legal system to where they don't even know what to believe, and they may let the diddler go. Like, I don't know. This might be like a 4D chess move for him. But I really want us to actually fact check because growing up, I never liked hearing any of these stories saying that if you eat a piece of gum, I'm chewing gum right now, which is funny. Um, but the gum stays within your system for 7 years. I never thought that was real because I ate gum all the time. Like Hubba Bubba, favorite piece of gum as a kid, even though it like lasted for like 20 seconds. Um, what was another one? You eat like 8 spiders in your sleep. Didn't make any sense to me. And people would tell me, well, you're asleep, so how would you know? I would know if I ate a spider, okay? Spiders can be venomous, and if I woke up after eating a spider and I didn't come up with superpowers or anything, but I never believed that either. I didn't even believe walking under a ladder gives you 7 years of bad luck. Never believed in opening an umbrella indoors. Never believed in putting two hats on at the same time. Whatever caused any bad luck. But maybe it does, because I do have bad luck. I have bad luck in dating, and it's not even what you think. It's not even the just getting denied and ghosted. I wish it was that. If it wasn't, I wouldn't have a problem. It's just that's just life. See, with me, I have to have things that just don't make any sense. If anything, I might be the Lord's comic relief out here. And let me explain. I know my friends probably starting to, if y'all watch, they like, oh, what story he about to tell? Oh, which would be my, let me say this. So I get it. Not everybody is going to make every shot that they take. And you miss every shot you don't take. Even recently, like this past weekend, I missed a shot only because what I'm about to tell you becomes so annoying, you just kind of give up on even wanting to shoot sometimes because you don't even know what's going to happen. It's just a mixed bag of tricks every time you try. A simple no would be great, but I don't even think they have the capacity to say no all the time. If anything, I've only been told no, once or twice, just like a direct no. And I just walked off. I was actually happy because I didn't have to go through what I'm about to tell y'all. So this happened. What was it? Is it like a year, 2 years now? I think it's been like 2 years. But it's still one of like the most egregious stories. Hopefully, I'm using egregious right. Doesn't matter. So it was at this restaurant. Yo, shout out to Taco Darrow. Actually, matter of fact, let me shout them out. Taco Darrow, man. If you don't know what Taco Darrow is, it's in Rochester. But it was at Taco Darrow, and they had just opened their official location on Brooks Ave, 1174 Brooks Ave. So go there and get some tacos. One day we go in. It was me, my cousin ATR No Limit. Go follow him on Twitch. My cousin Primetime Ant. And I believe my nephew was with me, Mr. Ferry. So go follow them too, Mr. Ferry or Very Valid on Twitch. But anyways, so we walk in, and it's just a normal day. I'm ready to order my tacos, go sit down, or I think I was getting me like loaded fries. I don't know, but I get stopped, and so this girl stops me, and she's like, "Hey, have I seen you come in here before?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I've come in here a few times." And she happened to work there, so she was one of the cashiers. So she go ahead and introduce herself. We're gonna call her. What are we gonna call her? We're just gonna call her Alicia. So Alicia introduces herself, and I say, "Oh, it's nice to meet you," and I introduce myself. And so she starts chatting it up with me, and I'm starting to get the sense that, yo, this girl's actually trying to talk to me. I'm like, okay. I must have came in looking drippy as hell, you know what I'm saying? I must have came in looking fly. But so she asked me to pull out my Instagram. I showed her what I had, because she was like, "Oh yeah, like yeah, I noticed you be always dripped out at every time." Like I said, bro, I know how to dress. You know what I mean? But then she shows me some of her fits, and I'm like, "Oh okay, like she could dress too." Like dang, like I never really met anyone who could match my swag, but I was rocking with it. Um, and then she was like, "Oh, make sure you follow me, and I'll follow you back." So I did so. After that, I sat down, ate with my food with my cousins, told them, like, "See, this is how you gotta do it. Y'all sitting here playing me, trying to say I get no hoes, bro. I don't even gotta do nothing, bro. I'm really him." So after me and the girl, Alicia, we get to chatting a little bit. And she lets me know that eventually she will be going overseas to study. And I was like, "Oh, that's awesome, going out to finish your degree overseas. That must be great." So given that time frame, I figured, all right, cool. Before she goes, I gotta go on a date with her just to give her a little feel out before she goes overseas for the semester. So we set a date, and I'll never forget the date. It happened to be a Tuesday, because that was the only day she would be available next week. And the day that she left was that Wednesday. So Tuesday, I planned to go somewhere. I think I said I was gonna go to like Dave and Buster's, and I believed it was just gonna be really, close. I figured in my head, Dave and Buster's was the best place because it had games, so I could wreck her in games. It had food, so I didn't have to go anywhere else for food, and it had drinks, so we can just go and get lit. I don't drink, but so the day of comes. I get off of work, and I'm starting to get ready for the date. I haven't heard anything other than I actually really just didn't hear anything. So I just figured I'm still going to get dressed and not really worry too much about it, because worst comes to worst, she doesn't say anything, and I just get to go and get some tacos because it's Taco Tuesday. Like, why wouldn't I? So around the time, which was 8 o'clock, she was supposed to respond, and she did it. So I call my boy up. I'm not about to sit here and wait for you. Like, I'm about to just go and enjoy my night. So I tell him, "Yeah, I didn't hear anything from her. Let's go get some tacos." He's like, "All right, bet." So we pull up to Taco Darrow, and as soon as I get out my car, she texts me apologizing, saying that she had so much going on that day. She was very busy. Her flight got changed to the next afternoon instead of the next morning, and that she didn't want to. She just felt bad for missing it. So I was just gonna ignore it, because it's just like, why did you even not say nothing? You had all day. Like, I had to work. I get it. You're busy. Whatever. Cool. But you know, it's just convenient, like right before it was supposed to start. So I just went on with my night, and my homie was like, "Shoot, invite her over here, invite her to the shop." So I figured, I don't want to, but he was like, "Brian, don't do this, because then you're gonna get mad, you're gonna get pissed off later, you're gonna give me that mean face that I hate looking at, bro. Just invite her over here." So I'm like, all right. I did. I said, "Why not? Why don't you just pull up here? They already throwing a party for Taco Tuesday, and we could just chill. It's nothing crazy." And she agreed. She was like, "All right, cool." So I tell her to bring a friend from my homie, and she's like, "All right." I'm laughing because this is the funniest part. This is the funniest part for my boy Ronnie. So while we're waiting, I run into a mutual friend of another friend that I have, right? I guess that's what a mutual friend. But I run into a mutual friend. And so she starts talking to me, and she was asking if I came by myself, and I was like, no, I came with my homie. And she was like, oh, okay. And then she was just chatting with me for a little bit, and then me and my homie went outside. He wanted to go out there and smoke, and I just went out there to just chill, because, I ain't about to leave my homie alone by himself, just for some girl, right? So while we're out there chatting it up, the girl, the mutual friend, she messaged me. She never like ever like messaged me on Instagram. So she messaged me and she's like, "Oh, did you leave?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I'm just outside." She's like, "Oh, okay. I was just wondering." And I'm like, "Shoot, I'm saying I'm really him this summer, boy. Boy, it's a city boy summer for me right now." So I'm thinking, all right, perfect. All I gotta do is just chat it up with her. If the other girl don't show up, then it is what it is, man. Like, I don't know. Like, she already done kind of fumbled, so it's like, I'm about to just go out here and enjoy myself. I go back inside, chat with the other girl for a little bit, and then her friends show back up, and they start chatting. So then me and my boy go back in our corner. Eventually, we're talking, and then my boy's like, Alicia's here. And I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, she been here for about like 5 minutes. She was looking at you, but like, she just didn't say nothing. She just went sat down over there. So you pulled up, sat down, didn't say nothing, didn't even text me that you were here. I looked at my phone to make sure. She didn't even text me that she was here. So then I get up and say, all right, bro, let's just go over. She must be with her friend. We go over. I start talking to her and everything. And she's like, oh, yeah, you got to match my shot. You got to match my shot. And I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about? She's like, yeah, you got to match my shot. Like, I already took a few shots. You got to match mine. I'm like, listen, I don't drink. I'm not really a drinker. I don't really do all that stuff, I gotta go to. It's Tuesday. Like, I'm not gonna get lit on a Tuesday, and I gotta still drive home and then go to work 6 in the morning. So I'm not about to do all that. But I was just like, all right, cool, whatever. Like, I'm not matching anything. She's like, oh, okay, that's fine. And then the bartender comes around, and she's asking for how many drinks, and she's like, oh yeah, we're gonna need 4 shots. I just said I don't drink. So she orders 4 shots for us, even though I just said we don't drink. And my friend, he just looks at me and he's giving me like the dirty look. And I'm like, what's up? And he's like, so this is who she brought. And the girl that she brought was short. My boy is tall. My boy is 6'4". So her friend is like 4'11", short. And then it's not his type. It's kind of big, kind of very big. No offense, but there's that. And then like he could tell, bro, this woman is way older than me. I'm like, bro, out of all people, like, why? Why? So, me and Alicia get to talking a little bit more. I'm trying to feel her out. Like, why does she want to go and study abroad? What does she plan to do after? And if she is even going to come back and work after she finishes school. And after a few minutes, she's like, oh, yeah, we got to go grab our food because she ordered in the front. So her and her friend get up and go. While she's up there, me and my homie just sitting there talking, going over the halftime report of what the game has been going on like, and he wasn't doing nothing. He wasn't trying. He was just upset at the fact that he had got the short end of the stick. Listen, I'm not gonna lie, y'all might be sitting there like saying, yeah, well, homie gotta take one for the team. Listen, I wouldn't take one for the team. I done already told my homies that I'm not taking nothing for the team, bro. That's just how we is. So if we can't all have fun, ain't nobody getting none. I guess that's how it's gonna have to be. But after like 20 minutes goes by, she doesn't come back, and we're just confused. Like, bro, is she like eating on the front or something? Like, what? Like, it's 20 minutes from now, so we decided to give it an extra 5 minutes, and then after that goes up, still nothing. So I'm like, listen, I'm tired. It's like what is it? It's almost 11 at night. I gotta get up 6 in the morning. I'm not about to be out here this late. So I'm already upset you missed the date. You showed up unannounced. You already ordered shots for that. I just told you I don't drink, and then you disappear for 25 minutes. Like, what the hell's going on? So we get up and we start walking now because I'm like, it is what it is, bro. I'm just about to go home. I don't care anymore. I go to the front, and you will not believe what I saw. This girl's in the front working for free. Out of everything, like, y'all, like, bro, you're going to go overseas tomorrow, and you're in the front working for free. Like, you didn't just miss the date. You know what I mean? You didn't just up and walk out and not say nothing and then pull up and not say nothing. So I'm just like, there's no way. So she's like, "Oh, are you leaving?" I'm like, I'm about to go home." She's like, "Oh, okay. Well, when I get back, we're definitely gonna get lit. Okay, okay." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." Right? I hop in my car. I drive straight home. I didn't even talk to my homie that much after that. I just say, "All right, bro, get home safe." We were done. We went straight home. I get out, go upstairs. I calm myself down, and then I go to sleep. Only to wake up about an hour later because they were shooting on my street. I can't wait to get out the hood. Please like and subscribe so I can get out the hood. But anyways, so I wake up and now I'm a little scared because I don't know what I just hear the shots and I'm not sure if somebody is like unalived right now because it was right in front of my house. Thankfully, it was nothing. Apparently, somebody just got into a little scuffle and they wanted to intimidate somebody and they decided to wake up the whole neighborhood. I guess so. But I go ahead and I check my phone and I get a text message from Alicia. And she's just texting me saying, as a matter of fact, if I can go find this text message, I'm going to read it to you. Because I don't think I ever got rid of it. I got rid of their like name in my phone, but... Okay, so these are the text messages. These are the text messages. I don't even know... Can you even see my messages? I know I can read the darker one. There it goes. There it goes. The brightness had to go down. That's my fault. So you can see that right there, right? And so what it says is, for those who watching the audio, whatever. Shut up. It says, guess what? With mad S's, mad T's, and a question mark. And just like laughing emojis. I'm thinking this girl's freaking drunk. I'm not leaving my house. I thought somebody got unalived outside of my house. I wouldn't leave for nothing, bro. Not for my life. The box ain't that good to get up and go. So I'm like, what? She says, why did I end up paying for you and your friend shots, Lo? What was that about? Huh? Did I not just say I don't drink? And then on top of that, we up and dip because we didn't know. First of all, we would have paid for our own drinks anyway, right? But 20 minutes had passed. That would have slipped our mind anyway. And my homie had paid for his drinks that he had bought prior to that. So I didn't even know she had a tab open. And so my response was, if my phone could stop turning off, was, we would have paid it, but I didn't know you had a tab open. I'm going back to sleep. I got work. I did not care. I did not care. And after that, I never heard from them again. They unfollowed me on socials. I didn't hear from them after that. They even laughed at the message too. But I guess they had an issue with it because they kept telling everybody like, yo, why did I have to pay for somebody's drink? I'm like, bro, I did not ask for it. Okay? So that's what I experienced, okay? That's just one story. But those are some of the things I experienced. There's more so offlandish things that just don't really make sense, things that are just weird. And even like the most recent one, and I never like I went around telling this. I was just like, bro, like I already like, how do you retire in retirement? I don't get it. So more recently, another weird scenario. My cousin and I were at this bar, and this girl that he knew came up to him. So she started chatting with him, and I noticed that she had a friend. So I decided to slide over and do the two-man. It's only right? So I introduced myself to her. She reintroduced herself to me. And because I didn't want to feel like yelling in her ear for the rest of the night, I figured I'll just keep it simple. And I held my hand out. And she grabbed my hand, and she spun herself around and started dancing on me. And for the song, she was dancing. I'm like, all right, cool. That's what's up. After that, she said she had to use the bathroom. Her and her friend did. Then the friend came back quickly, which was kind of weird because I was like, aren't y'all supposed to like go and like find lost treasure in the bathroom together? Like, well, why are you back so quick, right? But I didn't mind it. And so my cousin and her caught up for the rest of the night. And then after she left, and then my cousin looked at me and he was like, yeah, the reason why her friend left is she was saying that you were being weird. Bruh. I must be delusional. Honestly. I honestly must be delusional because I don't even know what I did wrong. I didn't really say anything other than my name and asking them for theirs. So apparently, I'm just a weirdo. Um, I'm gonna have to accept it because like I can't find any other reason why that would be said. I have to be delusional because like there should be no reason that there should be no reason, man. There are some other stories, but like so many times it's happened. It's just become life for me to where it's just kind of normal. Like it just doesn't even make sense anymore, and I just kind of want to just live in the reality that I must be delusional and just not want to waste my time. Being called weird is crazy. Being called weird is absolutely insane, and it does make you question yourself. So I just figured not to try anymore. I wasn't even trying in the first place, but like I definitely just don't try. Well, at least in here in Rochester. Um, I notice when anytime I leave this state, it's a completely different story. Like it's not that I'm like the man over there, but things are just normal. I guess normal for me. I guess everyone's weird elsewhere. People just are normal here. Like I don't even have to like do anything. I could just stand there and like, oh wait, this is a funny story. I remember we was at DreamCon and this girl came up to me and she said, "I like fine men like you." She also like ran into my cousin and was like obsessing over my cousin. So like we would have had a family affair. I hope my little cousins ain't watching. My older cousins and I would have had a family affair there if things would have fell through the way we wanted it to. But we was at a convention, so we was enjoying our time. But yeah, the reason why I missed that shot the other night is because it was a perfect opportunity, wide open, just there, no refrigerators in sight to stop you. It was wide open. I didn't even want to waste my time. I'm sorry, I just don't. I didn't feel like wasting my time. Just focus on what we got here in this relationship that I'm building with the community. And I thank you guys so much. So make sure you guys like this video. Make sure it's glowing after I said that. That's all we got today for you. I say we like I'm like not the only person here, but that's all I got today for you guys today. I just wanted to get back in like I always do. Go out here, ramble on, speak. But let me know what you guys think. What other topics do you guys want to hear? Please let me know in the comments. I probably should put this in the beginning of the video. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to hear for the next podcast. And thank you guys so much. So again, for the third time, like this video, comment, share, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Peace.